What's up? It's your boy, Will Blink, at the mic again.
Welcome back to Certified Bro Moment. Woo!
Hey, who's the host here?
The big ray.
Welcome back to Certified Bro
Hey,
Moment.
please.
I'm okay. You want to keep talking?
You guys want to have a Beyblade battle?
Right here.
Let's do it.
I saw someone
used to
have
have
like
those.
a Yu-Gi-Oh battle, like full
Full
like
arm
Yu-Gi-Oh
guard.
gauntlet
Yeah.
in the middle of a Wendy's. they clumped together a bunch of tables and
The people of Wendy's.
You mean me?
I was like in 5th grade when I saw this. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
There's the people of Walmart, then there's the people of Wendy's.
Whole different breed.
Whole different breed.
What are they giving these kids nowadays in their food?
But welcome
What did
back.
Michelle Obama doodle?
It's the fluoride.
Welcome back to Certified Bro Moment. I'm your host, Timothy Thomas Taylor, and this is Josh.
Yep.
Say your name.
I'm Josh.
Chris. Chris, say your name.
Big freaking ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
And today, did you guys?
Is your
guys what?
Hey, what's up, guys?
In case you didn't know,
I'll use my
Tommy's just like looking down and grabbing the spare tire on his abdomen.
I don't have a spare tire.
I'll use my my dad bod.
Yeah, your
to
disgusting dad bod that you're working on there.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, that's an impressive dad bod. So
I've been working on it for a few years.
Have you guys like watched anything or anything? We haven't watched Masked Singer in a while. We should probably pick.
That's not gonna.
We should probably pick up on that.
Yeah, right. Should. I haven't watched it. Did you?
No.
Did you watch it, Tommy?
No, I said we.
Should we just look up the spoilers for it?
Yes.
I'll do that.
It's like,
Look up the spoilers.
Terry Bradshaw, he's back again.
Every week now it's just
Yeah.
Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw. Like, guess what? It's Terry Bradshaw.
He actually killed all the contestants, and now he's wearing their skin on top of the suits.
and they film him as every single judge.
Who's Ken Jeong this week? Terry Bradshaw.
Who's Nick Cannon? What's under Nick Cannon's turban?
It's Terry Bradshaw, baby.
I'm pretty sure that's a hate crime for him to wear blackface as Nick Cannon. But it's Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw. I think he won a Super Bowl or something.
So there's been Rumor Willis, Joey Fatone,
I knew it was Joey Fatone.
LaToya Jackson, sorry.
Latoya from your class.
Latoya from my class.
Ricky Lake,
That was the last one.
Tori Spelling,
Yeah.
Margaret Cho,
Yeah, we
Terry Bradshaw,
we're gone.
Ricky
We're
Lake.
good.
comedian Tommy Chong. I like how they had to put comedian so that people knew who he was.
People do know who he is.
Then why'd they put it as
I'm
comedian?
gonna throw up because they know Cheech and Chong.
NFL star Antonio Brown. Oh, he's the one that's trying to get out of the Steelers. And he's like causing a huge ruckus.
If anything, he should get out of the show.
He's
before-
already out. He got out
Yeah,
the
he
first
is.
week.
But don't go on this show, please.
Don't
my
do
my
that.
favorite.
I knew it was Joey Fatone.
Well,
Like wasn't it like the rabbit guy?
yeah, I think it's the rabbit.
It was, I think, because they just revealed the rabbit and the lion.
I think I know who the peacock is. It's Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It's got to be. Neil
I
Patrick
think
Harris.
it's Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong.
You think
Ken
it's Ken
Jeong.
Chong? That's
Ah,
so
that's funny.
stupid.
That's a funny meme.
That's worse than your last one.
I can't think of anything.
You're
to
like,
set my background
I love Kurt Cobain. Okay, listeners, tell me if this is funny. So, Chris
Josh thought it was funny. I think
Chris Flash
not,
Ironically.
not you.
Yeah.
Chris Flash
Project
is the
Atlanta.
stupid. His
It's
stupid.
a picture of Billy Ray Cyrus set as
Wallpaper.
my lock screen background.
He's
And
like,
I said,
I
I
love
love
Kurt
Kurt Cobain because they look very similar. And I thought it was funny, but Tommy didn't, and now I'm sad about it.
I didn't. Sean didn't. Josh didn't.
All right, Sean can go back to his tea class. All right,
Oh, got
and
him.
so can you.
I could tell. Sean was like,
Go back to making your tea podcast.
Maybe I will.
All right, have fun.
Well, guys, looks like it's the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.
What's up? It's your boy, Will Flynn, at the mic again.
Just kidding. You're still at this.
Just kidding. We're back, baby. It's still us. We're still doing the podcast.
All right, Tommy. And what's our topic?
What was I supposed to?
You're the host.
You're in charge of this.
Yeah, you just tell. You just say what the.
Remember how at the beginning of this I said it and you're like, who's the host?
I thought this was our podcast.
It doesn't seem like it.
You're just going back and forth. You're like, oh, this is my podcast. And then when I say, well, I think it's our podcast, you're like, what are you, a communist? And then when it doesn't work in your favor, you're just like, but this is our podcast.
Didn't know this was Responsibilities USA. So,
Yeah, save it for then.
what's the big dealio? It's vacations. We're doing vacations. We're doing family trips. We're doing because Chris and I went on a winter retreat with the youth of our church.
Stupid little kids.
And he yelled
with the junior high.
Yeah, he yelled at a bunch of kids.
Oh yeah, I yelled at kids. I would be like, "What do you want a prize or something?" When they do something when they want an achievement, I would.
He said that to a girl who just had LASIK surgery, and in the middle of the night, she said, "I can't see," and he said, "You want a prize?"
You want a prize or something?
I would spike on kids in 9 Square and go, and I'd say, and then I said it to the speaker. I said it to our youth pastor. Hey, Jesus is going to show mercy. Why should I? And they agreed.
Classic.
From the other side of the room, he'd do the universal sign for monkey to me.
No, I
Go
wouldn't.
like,
That is a lie. That is a lie.
it
Take
looks
that
like,
out.
It looks like you're scratching your
You're
armpits.
taking that out. That is a lie. You will not defame me on this podcast. If anyone's defaming themselves is going to defame me, it's going to be me. Listen here, you stupid.
This guy's full circle.
I have a censor beep anyway.
If since you guys can't see it, it's Chris mouthing the N-word at Tommy.
I know, I didn't mouth it. I stopped.
So yeah, our podcast is being progressively more
Bigoted, racist.
PG-13.
Well, that's what happens when you invite the kid from Upper Township.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Everything goes downhill.
Yeah.
Josh, you go first.
I'm trying to think of stories.
Tell me go first because it's your idea.
Okay.
Trying to-
So, I think I've had the most vacations here.
Let's get retarded and.
I've never had any vacations.
You've never had. Shut up.
Never went on.
You went on a vacation with me?
Well, not with my family, ever.
You went to visit family. I count those as vacations.
Well, it's not like the people that go to Disney World every year. Incredible.
No.
I don't go to
my
Disney World
vacation-
every
I'm
year.
counting
A lot of people do.
I'm counting going to visit family as vacations.
Yeah,
That's all. I've only gone on vacation once.
I went to visit family and family friends, and that's basically it.
So basically.
Yeah.
So basically. Oh yeah, so I used to go to, since I was the only child, I used to go with my aunts, my grandmother when she was still alive. Yeah, made you feel real bad about doing the, it was a good time with my grandmother before she got sick with cancer and died.
Hey, at least you had good.
He's trying to make you feel bad, Chris.
At least you had a good time with your grandmother before she died.
Oh.
Mine was 90 years old, couldn't leave her house.
So she was in we used to go to Myrtle Beach every single year for her birthday.
Am I gonna mention the Graves story?
We're not gonna mention the grave story.
Well, because you're talking about grandparents, and I have to mention it now.
Okay, you want to mention the grave story?
Are you gonna finish yours?
I'll finish mine. So I'm a little dork, you know. I'm a little nerd. So I got there, and I was the only kid in the whole entire group, and they wanted to go to this thing called Boardwalk. Something where it's like boardwalk, but it's not a boardwalk because it's on the mainland. So they tried to, while they were shopping, they wanted to find something for me to do. And then they found Magi Quest.
I don't even know what that is.
Let me just tell you what it is. You go in, you get a magic wand.
Is it like Harry Potter at Universal, but like in a building?
Yeah, in one building.
Oh my god.
And then, but it's like knockoff Harry Potter, where everything is like, instead of it's like Dumbledore, it's Dumbledore or something.
It's the great value version.
Yeah, it's the great. It's like Walmart version of Harry Potter. And then
Walmart version.
you get like
Instead of Hagrid, it's just Big Oaf.
Big Jimmy.
Instead of Dumbledore, it's a
Gay boy.
Gable door.
Cable door.
Gay boy door.
So they so you'd get like certain quests that you'd go on, and you'd have to like unlock things with your magic, and you'd level up and you'd get different magic. Yeah, it's the dorkiest thing I've ever.
It does. Yeah, it sounds like it.
And I got home, I'm like, this is so much fun. I wish there was one near here, so I could bring my friends. Turns out there's one in North Jersey. I brought my friend Spencer that I already talked about in the last podcast.
Did you bring him or did his dad bring you guys?
No, his dad didn't bring. But I told Spencer about this place, and he's like, "That's so cool," but I don't think there's any around here. But we can play it in my front yard, and we didn't just play it. This was back not early days of internet, but before
Earlier internet.
Yeah, it's earlier internet, and we made a Magi Quest a lore page.
What's wrong with you guys?
We
freaking lore, freaking fan fiction.
Josh,
Tell me.
you didn't see the stupid email where he sent me, I just watched G.I. Joe, the live action movie. I think we should write a book about it and play it in school. That I still have this.
Wasn't there like a movie you guys were gonna make too?
Yeah, we're gonna make.
Magic Quest is an interactive live-action role-playing game where players embark on quests and adventures in an enchanted fantasy world using real magic wands to solve the mysteries of the game. Copyrighted 2015.
I thought he was gonna say mysteries of the gays.
That's an acceptable answer too.
Here's the thing. I did LARP when I was a kid. To be honest.
I mean, I can't say anything because like D&D is like LARPing, but D&D is like sit down LARPing.
Yeah, it's more. I think it's more like interactive.
Yeah, it's fun. You don't play. You don't dress up.
You can. There are people who do it. My sister's one friend from high school. He would do D&D with his family, like his uncles and his grandma, and like they get like really into it and like dress up. That's weird.
The one that we did, we just did it as a joke, kind of.
Yeah, it's fun. We should start like a series about it. But
we should record our D&D session.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
My friends and I couldn't do that when we played. Let's just say we played better when adults weren't around.
So,
can you cut that out?
So, yeah, we went. Thanks. Thanks.
I'm sorry.
Get off your stupid phone, Chris.
I'm sorry that I'm bored. And I'm just tired. It's like riding in your car tires me out.
So, yeah. That's pretty much. Oh yeah, I went to I slept in the Animal Kingdom hotel. Yeah, you're gonna say something about me being a monkey and I belong in Animal Kingdom. But
for the record, you said that.
I think, and they had some kind of African mask outside. I think it gave me bad juju or something.
Juju on that beat.
Oh,
Because every single night I'd have nightmares about the mask. Like some weirdo. It was like first person, and some weirdo would. I was the weirdo in the dream would break in, grab the mask, take a shard of glass, walk into the room, and kill me.
well.
And yeah, so all the rest of there's like no other real like notable stories. They're all like fine. Like I visit my grandmother sometimes.
The zookeeper. Would that count as a family trip? As a trip?
Yeah, up to like what, West Jersey or something?
I don't know.
It's by Delaware.
Why would I? Yeah, that'd be West Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, you see, my version of a family trip was my paranoid schizophrenic grandfather just showing up at my door, and just like knocking on it furiously, and trying to like break into my house because he wanted me and my brother to go talk to the graves. So like so he'd just roll up in his '79 like Oldsmobile, and just like skirt up into the driveway, and then boom, guess what? He's here, and we're gonna talk to the graves. So I'll just get like piled into the back, and so we'd just go to the cemetery, and he'd just start having a conversation with the graves. You know, it's nothing too unusual until like everybody around you is kind of looking at you crazy, like you're the one that's talking to the graves.
What'd you do if you like dug them up and just started sucking their toes?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, Bill, it's been a while. Nice. Tastes just like last week.
But I was like 9 or 10 years old, so I had no idea what to make of the situation.
You were 90210.
What is going on here, grandfather? Why are we here?
But you want to get into our vacations?
Yeah, I guess.
You never told the zookeeper story.
Oh yeah. So I used to sleep over for a week at my cousin's house in like West Jersey, near Delaware, and we might have him on the podcast. He just had surgery as like the day we're recording this, and he's doing fine.
He got his gallbladder removed.
Lame.
When he was on anesthesia, and they said they like prescribed him Percocet. He started rapping Percocet, Molly Percocet, and apparently he's gonna publish that video. So
I'd like to see that video.
but yeah, so Billy's a little whiner. No, not right now.
Dunk it
on the podcast.
No.
The guy just had his gallbladder removed.
Billy's awesome, but we used to be like brothers to the point where I'd like pick on him and be a jerk to him. And so we were playing Smash Bros. Brawl, of course. So we were and then I was smacking him around. But I'd play like characters that I could just spam moves. And he started
That hasn't changed.
Nope, hasn't. Not at all.
Did you bring your Switch?
No, but we can play Brawl.
Yeah, let's play Brawl afterwards. But so I just started smacking him around, and he started crying, and he started freaking out, and he called for his mom. His mom took me aside, and she's like, "You let him win, or we won't go see Kevin James's The Zookeeper in 3D.
3D, baby.
And I'm like,
baby, please.
look, I wasn't excited to watch Kevin James's The Zookeeper. It can't top Paul Blart Mall Cop 1. And it definitely can't top Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I need to watch the second one.
We're all gonna watch it.
But because I found that podcast.
Yeah.
And I started listening to it, and they're like, hey, you may want to watch the movie beforehand. I'm like, all right, I gotta watch the movie now.
We all had to watch it together. But, and then we can do a review on the podcast. But, yeah, it's
I didn't want to go see Zookeeper, but I have this thing about water. I don't like drinking water. And
that explains a lot.
They don't have... What does that explain?
Your patella shattering in 20 pieces.
Milk is better for the bones.
Yeah, that's how you developed early onset osteoporosis.
Didn't work for you, Tommy.
Yeah.
Over calcification.
So
I
drink milk and soda.
Milk and soda.
Not a lot of
Those
juice.
are two culprits right there.
So
who here's in the Intact Bone Club?
Boom, baby.
Well, maybe you can intact bone each other. So yeah,
Your neighbor's starting a satanic cult?
Yeah.
that was creepy. That's just the wind.
Must have been
That's
the
what
wind.
everyone says in the horror movies, and then
Must have been the wind.
they get killed.
No, that's a Skyrim.
But, and,
pool.
Yeah,
and
it is.
plus, the black man dies. The black people always die first in horror movies, so be scared, Tommy.
I'm really scared. But
Should we go record the podcast in your car?
what?
Should we go record the podcast in your car so we can get a quick getaway?
Oh yeah, that's a perfect idea,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. So
Okay, guess my jokes aren't funny anymore.
I'm trying to tell a story. So
Dreidel.
this was my only chance to get Coca-Cola, sweet, fresh, hot Coke. So, I'm like, you know what? I'll let him win. And there's a bunch of other stories that I'll tell about him once I get him on the podcast. You got something to say, Josh?
Dreidel.
Okay, let's talk about our... Josh and I have gone on several trips and vacations.
Like, I can't really think of like any notable stories from it. It was just like,
Getting robbed.
yeah, I mean that's a pretty notable story.
Getting robbed.
How about the Belize one?
We like swam really close to a barracuda.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then we walked into the wrong room.
I forgot.
Okay,
I forgot about
So we went to Belize, and on a missions trip with our school because we went to Atlanta Christian School.
The Poverty Academy of the East Coast.
Yeah, private poverty. But so we went to Belize and we did a bunch of missions work, and the last 2 days they're like, you know what, you guys did such a good job.
You guys can go do AC.
So they like shipped us off to a remote island where we could do whatever we wanted.
And the island was literally remote. Like it was like an hour-long boat ride there.
Yeah, like you kept like hitting bumps, and I was scared that it was like there would be a
Capsize.
I was scared there would be like a trail of dead manatees like behind us in the water because it was like
We're helping the
it was
environment,
so
though.
violent where it's like
Yeah.
I'm like it feels like something's under us. But yeah, so they're like we get there and they're like you can either go straight to your room or you can go snorkeling. And Josh's girlfriend at the time, and another one of our roommates decided to go snorkeling. And the fourth roommate that we had, his name was Carl.
Which is a pseudonym in and of itself. It's not his real name.
Yeah. So, because he was an exchange student from China. So he was like, "I'll go back to the room. I'll save it." And then he walks away, and we go snorkeling, and then the only notable thing from snorkeling was that the guide's like, we might want to go over here because that's a barracuda over there.
Yeah, it was literally like
It was-
15 meters away, maybe.
It was like really, really close.
Very
It could have
close.
like bit any of us in like an instant.
Yeah.
But we went back and we were extremely tired because we were seafaring gentlemen, and we needed a fresh shower and fresh clothes. So we get back to the hotel, and the person's like, your room is 15?
I thought it was like 22B or something like that.
22B. But we didn't hear the B. We just heard
Well, I thought there was like two 22Bs or something like that.
No, it was 22A and 22B. And we didn't hear the B. And all we heard was 22. So we were like, oh, 22. So, because I think 22, like, in the 20s was when it started splitting up to A's and B's.
Yeah.
So, all the other rooms were just 13, 14, 15, 16. And then you hit 20 and it was A and B. But we didn't notice it because we're like, oh, it must be a regular hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So, we get to 22A and we knock on the door.
And nobody's there. And it's locked because didn't our key not work?
Yeah. So, we think that Carl's in there. And we think he's just sleeping. So, we knock on the door and we keep screaming, like, Carl, let us in. And this,
Carl, yes, Papa. Let us in. No, Papa.
So,
Drinking Cokes, yes, Papa.
like, yes, Papa. So, you would laugh.
In
Like
case
that.
you didn't know, that's how he sounded like. That's what he sounded like.
So the maid comes and she's like, "Are you locked out of your room?" And we're like, "Yes." And then she opens it up for us, and we walk in, and the one guy, he has a girlfriend, so he has all her stuff and his stuff on top of it, and he puts it in the room, and then he's like, "I'm going to meet my girlfriend on the beach." So he walks out, and then I'm sopping wet. Josh is sopping wet. Josh is like, "I call shower first." So he walks into the shower. And then I just collapse on the bed because I'm like, this is
And
my
he's soaking
bed.
wet.
And I'm soaking wet with seawater. And I turn on the TV and I'm just watching Iron Man 2. Like, he's soaking this bed, sipping on, like, mango juice.
Yeah, it's like this huge jug of mango juice.
And then I think 15 minutes pass, and then I look outside and I see like a huddle of maids like pointing at me and like whispering. I'm like, what? That's weird. So I go to the door to check what's up, and they're like, "Are you sure this is your room?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is 22." And they're like, there's 22A and there's 22B. And then I have that moment where I'm like, oh god.
Oh god.
And then I open the closet. It's all fully like
It's
people
all,
have
like,
been there for
clothes,
a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this isn't any one of our clothes. So I start pounding on the door. I'm like, "Josh, we're in the wrong room. You got to get out of the shower." And he's like, "Just wait a minute." And I'm trying to remove the evidence that we're still there. And I think I left this stupid drink inside their not inside
in their trash can.
In their trash can. But there's just this big impression of
wet body.
salt water on
Yeah.
their bed.
And
I'm
and
like,
like when I went in the shower, I was kind of suspicious because there was like a towel there.
and
It was
then
like somebody else's towel.
And then you use
And
their
body
towel.
wash.
You use their towel and body wash.
Yeah, and their body wash.
Hey, if it's there.
Yeah, what else was I gonna do?
So you walk out. We walked out,
Mm-hmm.
and then we get to our actual room, and Carl's like, "Huh, what took you so long?"
Well, he's like sipping a
Cause
Coke.
you sipping a Coke because he always has a Coke in his hand, and we're like, "Okay, that's finished. Let's just enjoy it." So you start walking. We sit down at a
Is it like a restaurant?
It's a very small island.
Yeah.
So we sit down at a restaurant, and we just so happen to run into the roommate, and then he's like, "What's up? Hey, what's up, guys?" I don't think he sounds like that, but
Sort of.
yeah, he's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I'm like,
He'll never believe what happened. We were in the wrong room, and he's like, "You got me and Lydia and I's stuff, right?" I'm like, he's like, "Oh God, and you just see him start like running down the streets of Belize. I'm like,
Well,
yeah. So that was the main highlight.
yeah, but it turns out the room that we did get, from what I remember, I thought it wasn't it like a lot nicer than the room that.
Yeah, except for there was like African fornication.
Oh yeah, there's like African fornication paintings and
over our beds.
yeah, and like masks.
Nice.
Just staring at us.
It was weird because the whole entire aesthetic was okay. So in Belize, which is a South American country, the whole entire aesthetic was Asian, like a Southeast Asian aesthetic, where it's like pagodas and stuff like that. And then you walk into the room, and it's all this African art, and you're like, "What's happening?"
I've been on a cultural roller coaster.
Ironically, they did not offer a continental breakfast, so
Oh, that would have made it so much better.
that would have been. But yeah, you want to go to the Arizona trip? let's talk about Sonic.
Sonic.
What we ordered from Sonic.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Okay, if anyone doesn't know, I'm a beta male.
So, end it there. Just end the sentence there. That's it.
Okay, guys, this has been a fun podcast.
I'm a beta male.
I'm a beta male. Just want to remind you guys.
In case you didn't know.
In case
Okay.
you forgot.
See you guys.
What's up? It's your boy, Will Blake, at the mic again.
But in all realness, we're like at Sonic, the restaurant, not Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's what I thought you meant.
So we were in an organization called Police Explorers. You getting the rocking chair?
Yep.
Wow, that was almost throw up. So we were in an organization called Police Explorers, and it was basically Pee-wee Cops. And it was like, if you're in high school, they're like, this is how you become a cop, this is how you do stuff. Well, that's what they marketed it as. It's more like, cops don't have time to fundraise for the police station, so you're going to do it instead.
Yeah, you're just gonna do like,
And then like once a month, they give you a lesson on how to be a cop. And it was usually like, shoot a black guy, you're fine.
Alright, you don't like minorities. Got it.
So
If you are a minority, you don't like yourself.
You don't like it.
So, and then they have this thing where it's the championship, and it's all the way in Arizona. Well, it's in different places.
Yeah, it was
This
a
year-
conference.
Yeah, it was a
It wasn't
conference.
a championship.
Well, it was a
We're gonna
championship.
fight each other.
Well, it was like we had a big like
Yeah,
police
yeah,
off.
it did like
How many?
like the only thing that like we trained for that we actually did was just like the one like investigation scenario.
Oh yeah,
That was the only thing we did, and we practiced like all this stupid stuff for like.
we didn't know how to shoot. Well, you did because you had prior stuff, but I didn't know how to shoot. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna before like you actually know how to handle a gun, we're just gonna give you a gun." And we're not gonna have blinders or dividers. It's just gonna be you in front of
shooting.
in front of like one of those plastic folding tables.
Waiting to happen.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of kids. It's like almost every single squad. They're all lined up together and they're all shooting. You're like,
Essentially.
I miss so many. No, I didn't miss.
I
Okay.
got so many people down.
I missed the target so many times. I was so off because I don't like guns. I don't shoot guns.
Lame.
So, yeah. So, but before, like, it was
Hold up. Peter Tork died.
Who's Peter
The
Tork?
guitarist from the Monkees.
Oh wow.
And the
Oh
monkeys,
my god.
they just monkey around.
You're the only one who likes monkeys,
Singing
here.
and singing.
Except for Josh.
They were
I
monkeys.
thought that would
monkey around.
I thought that would perk you up.
You don't understand, Tommy.
But
The monkeys are to me like they are to, like your old Owl City.
It's Stevie Wonder, above and all else. Stevie
Or-
Wonder dies.
No, the monkeys are to Chris as the Iron Giant is to you.
Yeah.
Iron Giant is the best film in the whole entire world. But, yeah, so they gave us 2 weeks away in Arizona. And the first week was like, you can do whatever you want. Go see the sights. Go break your leg on an obstacle course like 100 miles up. But, and the second week was championship. So the first week, I think the very first night, we were in like a hotel right next to, we were in a hotel. We weren't in one of those bougie hotels.
No, it was
Because
like a motel. It was like a West Atlantic City motel.
Didn't we try to get in one of those bougie hotels? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
So we were in like one of those like West Atlantic City motels.
Yeah.
Right next to a Sonic. So he's just like, they're
Just
like,
walk over to the Sonic.
let's have all these kids walk over to the Sonic and place their orders. So, like, how many kids were there?
Like 16, 17, or like 20.
There was way more.
Really?
Yeah, it was a class. It was like a full-grown class.
Like everybody in the Police Explorers? Like how many people were in?
No, who came? There was like several kids. There was like not just 16.
Oh yeah.
I'd round it up to like 30 or something.
Yeah, I think so.
So, you have 30 kids plus several advisors all lined up. And this guy, Griffiths, he's my neighbor now. He's like, okay, guys, I'll explain what he looks like. He's got the balding ring, where it's the ring of hair around his head, but the top is balding. He's got the head shape of a vulture and the nose to match it. He looks like a guy that you'd see bowling on Tuesday nights in the middle of the night.
In like a bowling club.
And yeah. And he's very skinny. So he's like, okay, guys, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take your order. Then you're not. When they say,
Will that be all?
will that be all? You're gonna say no. And then we're gonna pass it down the line. So, I was the first one. Josh was the third one or the second one?
I don't think I was the second one. I think I was on my way down.
You were the third one, because it
wasn't
was
what's her name first?
No, I was the first one. Pennock was the third one. You were was the second one. You were the third one, and Maples was the fourth. So we're standing in line, and then me being my beta male cuck self. Once they get to the actual will that be all? I'm like, yes.
No, how I remember it is when they were just like, will that be all? And you're like, yes. And then Griff's like, no.
And everyone is behind me, like, no. They started screaming no, and then Pennock is even more scared and socially awkward than me. So he was the one who's like, yeah, yes. And I was like, stop doing that. And you weren't thinking. You're like, yeah. Shut up. And it happened 4 times.
Yeah.
The first 4 people. It was. You okay, Chris?
No.
I'm sorry,
Peter
buddy.
Tork is dead.
Ouch.
Josh, I think Chris just checked out of our podcast for today.
Yes.
So yeah, we sat at a separate table because they didn't want us, and we all got our stuff early, and they stared at us. It made us feel bad for getting our stuff early because we had separate orders. So yeah, and then Josh, you want to say how?
Oh yeah.
We got robbed. Yeah,
well, so it was one of the nights at at the campus itself, because we stayed on like a college campus. It was North Arizona University, and it was one night we were there. It was at like 12 a.m. I went to like take a shower because we're basically staying in a dorm room. So I walked back. I had my key with me, and I thought I put it back in my bag or something like that, because I did have it in my hand. Ugh. But it turns out I left it in the key slot in the door. So we wake up, the key's missing. Of course, everybody's like pissed. Like what's his name? Pissed at me, like Griffiths.
Well, everyone's pissed because we all had to go to like breakfast together, so we were holding up the entire.
Because we were looking for the key.
Yeah, and I was the only one. Well, not the only one, but it was mostly people were like, "Come on!" And there was like a few choice people who were like, "Yeah, that really sucks that they lost their key. We're understanding." And then, but yeah, keep going, Josh.
Yeah, and and so like they're having me like do all these push-ups outside for some reason, because that's helping the situation.
Yeah.
So then we go.
all had to wait for him to finish the push-ups too.
Yeah. So then we go at breakfast, and we come back, and guess what? Our room's been like ransacked. So Tommy has his wallet stolen. Like everything's just like thrown out of my closet, and Tommy's closet just like on the ground.
Yeah.
Everything's just like strewn about. I had my backpack stolen, which had like an iPad and other valuables in it.
Laptop.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm like uber pissed. Like I'm ready to like swing at the next person I see.
And that was all the money I had, and I'm in some remote state without money.
Yes. So he's calling his mom frantically to like cancel his credit card, or like cancel his debit card, and didn't you have your passport stolen?
I had my passport stolen. I had my
like all of his identification stolen.
everything. Someone could have set up.
It was a disaster. Yeah. So we're just super pissed. We're like questioning everybody, and
Okay, well, you were silently questioning everybody because you didn't want to talk to anyone, because I felt like if you talked to anyone and they said the wrong thing, you would have swung at them, and you knew it. So you just
I think I was just pacing.
You were silent, and you just walked out of the room.
Yeah.
And I walked out. Well, no, I was still in the room. I was like searching around.
Yeah.
And I'd see you every so often just like pace by the door, and you were doing laps around because you were so mad.
I was
and you had that,
super pissed.
The Andrew Jacoby like balled up fist angry walk.
Oh yeah,
and, And you were like looking inside other people's rooms.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And then,
so like we had a few other people help us like within our group.
Yeah.
And when we tied everything together, like everything was pointing towards our own supervisors stealing our stuff.
But we were like, that's stupid. That's crazy. They're cops. Why would they do that?
Yeah, so like, we even asked them, and they said, oh, we don't know.
So, I'm sitting in the room. I think 3 hours have passed. But it feels like it's been years.
Yeah.
And, sorry, I'm making Fruity Pebbles. There's always time for Fruity Pebbles. So I'm sitting, and they, yeah, move it closer. Thank you. So I'm sitting in there, and I called my mom to confirm if she did it, cancel my debit card. And she's like, they haven't told you yet. It's been 3 hours, and they haven't told you yet. I'm like, who hasn't told me yet, Mom? And she's like, it was your advisors. They stole your stuff to teach you a lesson. I'm like, what lesson could that be? And she said, turns out Josh left his key in the door, and instead of them being actual functional adults about it, they were like, you know what? Let's teach these kids a lesson.
And steal all their valuables.
So, I'm pissed. I'm mad.
Oh yeah, we're so pissed. I remember that.
I was ready. Like, we weren't talking to anyone.
No.
Because I was ready to, I don't know, punch anyone. So, we're standing in line for dinner. Because he's like, okay, it's dinner time. And we're standing in line for dinner. And this, like, one of them comes back and they're like, it was us. And we're like, of course, we knew it. And they're like, but we had a good reason to. And they're like, you can be mad at us on the trip, or you can actually be a grown. Yeah, they're like, you can actually be a grown up and let it go.
Like it was our fault
I'm sorry
that they stole our stuff.
Yes, it was an accident that we left the key there, but you don't need to steal our stuff.
No, at least like take it and just give it to me like in the morning and make me do more push-ups. I don't care.
And then they kept going like, well, you had to learn. You had to learn or it will never happen. Because what if you're in actual big boy college and you get your stuff stolen? I'm like, well, what if you were an actual big boy police?
Oh wait, you're not.
Instead of smacking around on some like 16 and 17-year-olds.
Yeah, they're acting more like middle school gym teachers than police officers.
It's true, yeah. So that cemented my distrust of authorities and police forever.
I don't trust police.
Yeah, it's true.
And that cemented my leaving of the Police Explorers. Our leaving.
Yeah, definitely.
As soon as we got back, we quit. Josh never went back.
Yeah.
But I had to return our stuff. So, that was awkward.
So wait, you made Tell me to return your stuff too?
Yeah, I forget. I was busy. I was busy the night. I forget what I was doing. Pretty sure I wasn't even in the state.
But yeah, it sucked. So, yeah, that was our most notable trips.
Well, like, I remember, like, speaking about the dorm, I remember that one part, or, like, that one time we were in, like, that, like, common room. Wasn't it, like, that game room or something? It was, like, the room with, like, the couches and, like, the small TV. And, like, these random people just show up. They're from, like, Minnesota. It's, like, two girls and, like, two guys or something like that. And they just, like, bust in while we're trying to watch. And then, like, they start saying, like, suggestive things, like, gesturing towards me, and then Tommy just, like, bolts out. You remember this?
Yeah,
I know you do.
They didn't say anything to me.
he just bolts out, and, like, it was just, like...
It was weird.
It was very weird.
Then, on top of it, we tried to go in. It's empty one night. I'm like, okay, we can actually watch TV and not be bugged by anyone. So, turns out that night, they had a marathon of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 on repeat. I'm like, I can jam to this.
I can do this all night.
I can do this all night. And we're having a great time. Then the people from our squad, I guess, see us in there and they bust in and they just start screaming about how two girls from our squad are playing pranks and it's annoying. I'm like, I wasn't a part of this. Why'd you have to bring us into this?
Yeah.
And they're like, so what's your stance on it? Which side are you on? And I'm like,
what's your politics?
I'm on the side of shutting up and watching TV.
I'm on the side of Ghostbusters 2.
Yes, I'm on the side of Ghostbusters 2. Slimer's prostate exam. But yeah.
I'm on the side of the all-female cast of Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
Tommy's threatening to beat me up right now.
I'm on the side
Just so you guys can understand what's going on.
Ghostbusters answered the call of Grape Apes on tape. So yeah, we also went to Boston.
Yeah. Like, can you even think of any stories from that?
I heard a Bostonian say the N-word in the accent.
Of course.
We were there with our Bible teacher because it was a missions trip, and we had this exercise where we were supposed to live like homeless people. And then we had like a certain amount of dollars. And this guy, Bible teacher, I'll remind you, he bought us all. We were supposed to buy enough food for us and a homeless person.
Which is like impossible.
He bought the least amount of food that
lids.
he dumped. We ate it. He dumped all the leftovers in one big container, gave it to a homeless person. Then he went to Lids with the rest of the money and bought a hat.
He bought a hat. Okay.
Okay.
And that was Joe.
Yeah.
Joe.
that was him. And then we convinced the exchange students that he was my actual dad. And that he gave me up for adoption. My actual mom adopted me. But now I just see him sometimes.
But now he's your Bible teacher?
Yeah, no, he's my Bible teacher, so it's really weird. And then my knee dislocated, so he had to carry me like Yoda style through the streets of Boston.
You were the Yoda? His Luke Skywalker. Get to me, I must.
Get to me, I must. Forget past sins, I must.
Commit a felony, I must.
So,
3 weeks to live. Game, I must. You see that video? It's like...
but yeah.
3 weeks to live.
What else happened? Nothing much.
That was almost 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to remember what happened.
That was when we were first becoming friends.
That's when we first got married.
Was it legal then? I don't know if gay marriage was legal.
Oh yeah, that was another prank. They put Just Hitched on our dorm room. At Airs. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I mean, I can see you guys being together.
I hope you rot in the pits of hell.
Well, I know you two are.
I can say so many stuffs.
I can say so many stuffs.
So many stuffs.
Many stuffs I can say.
3 weeks to live.
Stuffs I
Game, I must.
Game
I must.
Gamer headset on.
on.
I gave a girl toes. Sucked.
Unpaid.
Toes I gave a girls, I must say.
It's like gamer girl toes sucked.
Jeez.
Took the kids, Karen did.
Get this victory royale, boys.
Super Mario commits a felony.
Hate on minorities, I must.
Oh. Okay. Let's get the diggy dog.
So now it's my turn. When we were younger, we'd drive out to Idaho. Sometimes we'd fly to go visit my grandparents. And one time we're on the plane, and my family, we're not rich. So, Tommy, please don't do that. Thank you. So, to save money, we'd get 4 middle seats in the plane because they were cheaper. Yeah. And I was stuck between this lady and this ripped black guy. And me being the scared little kid I am, this wasn't because he was black, it's because he was jacked. I was he was asleep, and I had to pee. And it was at the beginning of an 8-hour flight. And I'm like, I can't wake this dude up.
Bad situation.
I was like, I can't wake this dude up. He's going to beat me to death. So I sat for
I'm pretty sure it was because he was a black guy.
Yeah,
No.
I think that was the sole reason, Chris.
No. But I'm sitting there for 8 hours, I gotta pee. But I wouldn't wake him up because he looked so peaceful, and I didn't want to wake the giant and have him slaughter me. And then kill my family.
The 10-foot basketball player you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another story. One time when we were driving out there, we would like stop and like see random sites. Like there was somebody made Stonehenge but with cars.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw
That
that.
was cool. In Dayton, Ohio, they have like an Air Force museum or airplane. I think it's Air Force or airplanes. But my granddad was in the Air Force and he worked on JFK's Air Force One, and they had it there. So we were able to go through that. They had different Air Force Ones that you could walk through.
Sounds like a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
What are you talking about?
It wouldn't be Christmas.
That's the wrong
They
one.
stayed at home for Christmas.
Oh, I meant what was the other one? It's like
Family vacation.
Yeah, that one.
What the thing is about?
Yeah.
The main topic?
I mean, him just seeing like random landmarks.
Yeah. In 2016, after my granddad died, I went and spent a month out in Boise, Idaho. That was fun. I just kind of laid on my bed the whole month on my phone. And watching cartoons because they had some like of the older cartoons. It was nice.
What older cartoons did you watch?
Like Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry.
Any did you watch Song of the South?
Or a Watership Down.
No. Yeah, we went to Disney when I was in 6th grade. I don't remember that.
Lucky.
Because of concussion.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, I have a picture. Wait.
I've never been to Disney.
I have a picture.
It's not really worth it.
That's what I hear.
We should go to Disney sometime.
I'd rather not.
If you're gonna pay, sure.
Because usually the kind of people that go there every year, like into their 20s, are just kind of like pathetic.
Okay. I had a friend that would go to Disney every year because he had like a beach house down there.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just kind of like, okay. Sounds like a waste of time to me, and you're spending a ton of money when you're down there. So.
Yeah.
So my favorite ride at Disney was Splash
dad?
Mountain. Yeah, my dad. It was Splash.
Daddy!
Oh, I have a story about Splash Mountain.
It was Splash Mountain. So I knew the different, like, I knew it from heart. I knew the different curves and the different turns.
Knew all the curves.
But my cousin, this is his first time doing it. What are you doing?
It's just funny to think about after saying you're doing it with your dad.
Yeah,
Are you putting on
I
a
know all of
necklace?
my dad's curves and his turns.
And it was your cousin's first time.
It was, jeez. Chris?
That's how you're setting yourself up.
So, we're at,
You're trying to put on a wallet chain.
Middle Eastern princess now. Putting that on your head.
so, this isn't a wallet chain, this is my chain.
Should be.
So,
There's more
we're
chains
at,
than food.
Homeboy.
stupid,
Splash Mountain.
yeah, Splash Mountain, and he's never been on this before. I have a picture of this somewhere in this house, where we hit that part where you're going off the big drop, and you're about to hit the thorns. Based off a horrible movie. Don't watch it. It's all about how good it is to be a slave. It's true.
I haven't seen it, so continue.
Song of the South.
Continue.
That's what it is. Okay. So, at the pinnacle, he sees the spikes, and he thinks he's gonna die. So there's a picture of me doing the
Soylent Green.
the Soylent Green, and then a picture of him like crying at the same time.
Oh my god.
I just found it like a couple years ago. I'm like, this is the best photo I've
That's
ever seen.
embarrassing.
Yeah. Not as embarrassing as the naked baby pictures.
So my experience on Splash Mountain was the one when we were down there. It was like Christmas time, so it was like a parade every like 2 hours. So there was a parade going on, and we went. It was my sister and I, my family, and then my old best friend's family, and we went down together. And my sister, him, and I, like, we went on Splash Mountain 7 times in a row, no line. Like, we get off, run around, get back on because there was a parade going on. And at one point, as we're going up, it's like towards the bottom of the ramp going up to the drop. It breaks down.
Oh my god.
But it's like, it's not towards the top where it would be light. No, it's right at the bottom where it's still dark. And we're all like, what's going on? And we're the only ones on the ride, too.
How old were you?
6th grade.
That's
Oh,
you.
6th grade.
okay.
But it's still like,
Yeah, it's
hey, what's going on?
Oh, cool.
that's sketchy.
And then then they got to function again. And then I fell asleep in the gutters of Disney.
Are you guys? Any of you guys roller coaster guys?
Oh yeah. Until I pass out.
Dude, you want to go to Six Flags sometime?
Sure.
Yeah. Josh,
I used to be.
why don't you like roller coasters anymore?
So I think I was I forget. It was I think it was when I was really young, and my brother made me go on one of the rides at Six Flags, and for some reason I was just traumatized from it.
He got run down by a roller coaster.
I want to do King Cod, or that one, or the one they built by El Toro, the just straight up circle.
Oh, do you do Nitro?
Tell me, I passed out 8 times on it. Do you think I do Nitro?
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Okay.
I won't do it first, but I'll do it.
Yeah. How about Bizarro? You like
That's
Bizarro?
my favorite.
Dude, Bizarro's my favorite.
I like it's one of the few rides in the country that has a Medusa in it, which is the up, around, over, and then around.
Yeah,
Or
it was originally called Medusa,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, any other stories? Stop. Well, this has been fun. It's a light podcast, very somber podcast after the passing of a very influential man.
Peter Tork of the Monkees at age 77.
Well, I've been Tommy. This has been Josh.
Yeah.
I haven't really been Chris today.
Yeah, you haven't been feeling yourself. You're in your feelings right now, as
I'm
Drake
in
would
I
say.
need to go to my comfort zone.
Okay. Well, we'll check you later next time. Follow the Certified Bro Moment. That's follow Blanco Trader to catch more Certified Bro Moment. I just spit up a little bit.
This podcast is brought to you by Big Money Enterprises.
What's up? It's your boy, Will Flynn, at the mic again.